you finally wake up? Looks like the smell of coffee finally woke somebody else up and got her out of bed. Yeah. Say good morning. Gonna go. No, you just want to stay right here? Okay. Good morning. Yes, I'm still talking to you. First day of school. Yeah. Talk a little bit quiet because the boyfriend's still asleep. Yes, he is. First day of school. We're gonna sit here, wake up, have our coffee, and take her for a walk in a little bit. Time to go to school, Tinkerbell. Time for me to go to school. I'll see you when I get home, okay? Okay, stay warm. Bye-bye.
It looks wet.
Good.
It looks wet.
It look good. Hot.
It's hot.
Gang, gang.
Thank you. No. Oh.
you. Come on. Get inside. That light on. Turns the candle on. Oop. I think I need to refill this because it's lost its scent. Can you tell school has started? My poor desk. I need to clean it. Hi, little one. Hello. Hello. Shall we make some lunch before next class? Here you go. Yeah. You need to drink some water. And then you clean your face. Look at your face. Yeah, I know you don't like your face being cleaned. You like your face being petted. Pet, 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 pet. Alright. Let's make some lunch. Want some lunch? Yeah, I want some lunch. Let's get some lunch. Okay, so I switched over to like one of the better cameras I have. My mom's letting me borrow her top-down camera so that I can see how it works and everything. And I've already recorded a video with it. I just need to edit it and figure out if I really want this camera because I like the boom stand that comes with it. I'm just not sure if I want this kind of camera or if I want like an actual like video record camera. Still figuring that out. Anyway, and also. Sorry if you hear any like cars or anything. I'm literally right next to the street and I have the window blinds opened for more natural lighting. But anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and show you, because I was able to show you a little bit of the school, and we'll get more into detail when projects start going and if I'm allowed to actually record as I'm doing projects. There's one class I know I will not be able to record at all, which is figure painting. Figure painting, not finger painting, this class. I will not be able to record this at all because we're dealing with live human models. So that one is for sure, but I think I might be able to do something with the bookmaking class, which would be awesome. And then this is just, anyway. So I'm taking only 3 courses this semester. It's my last semester at college, at the university. And I've basically done all my classes. The last 2 required art classes and then an elective. So these 2 are required. This is the one that's actually required, and this is one of a list that are required. So you get like, this is what we call a menu course. Basically what a menu course is, it's a list of very different courses that you can take. They're all different skill sets, they're all different types of art. And I don't know if this is strictly with my school or with any other school, but you can choose from those and you have to choose at least 2, I think. I have to look it up. Specifically for my program that I took here at the University of North Texas. So this is one of the menu courses, and I've been wanting to take it forever because it's a painting class, but it's figure drawing, and I enjoyed figure 1, figure 2, and then advanced figure 1 and 2. So those were classes that I seriously enjoyed myself. So I decided to go ahead and up the game a little bit and try figure painting, since I'm not a painter, I'm more of a digital artist. I can paint, but this course requires oil paints, and that is a medium that eludes me, so we'll see how I do. But one of the other classes I'm taking, the other required, is called advanced drawing. This one is more of, instead of it just being a drawing class where I'm given assignments of something to draw, it's a research class. So you do basically your own research and you make your own pieces. So you can either draw or paint or sculpt or do a performance piece in this class. This is a choose your own adventure type of class, I guess you could say. But I wanted to go ahead and quickly show you what a normal syllabus would look like. or art type classes, because normally with syllabi you have the course description, which you do here. So you have the course description, you have the objectives that are going to happen to that course, which of course they're all normally pretty vague. You got outcomes, content, examination, and then you have what's called critique. So in our classes we go through critique every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the class. Come on, camera, you can do it. Focus. Focus. There you go. Almost. Okay, well, you have critique. That's where you basically come together as either individual, small group, large group, which we're doing all 3 versions in this class. You come together and you show one big work or several different like little works, and you talk about it. You critique them. So that's what you basically do in an art class, which pretty much every art class, and then you have the normal grading, how you're going to be graded, and any required course or texts, which there's no required reading most of the time with an art class. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It really depends on the professor that's teaching. For this one, we will have required reading, but it's going to be provided to us on Canvas, which is the website we're using for our class. So he'll just be uploading things for us to read. You'll have the participation grades, policies like attendance, cell phone, and then how you're going to clean the studio, because you're using a public space. Your class meets in this space for about 3 hours, and during that 3 hours it is yours, and then you're allowed to use it after all the classes are over, or during some of the classes if you're asked the professor nicely. So after it all, we have to clean it up if it gets really bad, or we have to have like a communal cleaning day, and normally that's for like extra credit. And then you have like wood shop. If your school happens to have a wood shop, you have wood shop dates and times. And then here, since this is an advanced class, I'm going to be going through what's called a senior survey. So it has the date and time for this and when the opening for that exhibition is going to be showing, which I'm not looking forward to, but we'll talk about that later. And then usual office hours, email, how to get in contact with your professor and everything, and more policies. This one's an important one, ADA accommodation. If you or someone you know is going to college, is going to a university or even a community college, try and find out if they have ADA or Office of Disability Accommodation, ODA. That is so the school knows, and you take a sheet to professors so that they know that you need some form of accommodation to help you get through the class. Then you got emergency procedures, and then all of this has to go with student behaviors. Alright, and then especially for art classes for university and for any sort of college that has with art, you're going to have a permission to use student artwork sign form. You're not obligated to sign this. You do not have to sign it if you don't want to. I'm not signing it this year. I've signed it the other couple years, and I have had my work shown, but I don't want to do that this year, so I'm not going to sign this at all. And then you also have the student acknowledgement. You have to sign this. This basically just says that I read through this. I understand it, I read and agree. So that's basically what a syllabus is. One other thing that I need to add, that if you're in like an advanced drawing or painting class like this, you're not going to have a supply list because it's a research and you do your own thing. You don't have required supplies. If you're in something like a structured class like this figure drawing class, which is going to be structured, you're going to have a supply list. So let me see if I can find it. There's the schedule. There it is. You're going to have a materials list that are required. This list is a little lengthy because he does list out all the colors that we need, because this is a painting class. It goes up to like right here of the ones that are required, and then he italicized the ones that are not. And unfortunately I had to buy all these because it's required that we use oil in our class, and I have acrylic, so I have to buy those along with a couple other materials. But most of these are stuff you can find around the house, or you can get for cheap at like discount art stores or hardware stores or anything, and you'll always have a list like this for like classes that will require it. I even have one in the book in this one because this was also a structured class. And then I wanted to show, like, this one has the schedule in it too, but this one has it separate, so it's easier to show. Then you also get the schedule of, like, when you're, come on, focus, of when you'll have, like, individual crits, large group crits, or when certain projects are going to be due. And you want to, like, put those down in a diary of some kind, a planner of some kind, as soon as possible, and make it known to yourself. Like, if you open it up, you'll know exactly when something is due. Because this is a lot of different pieces of paper to rifle through every week. So gather it all up and stick it in one place. That is the best advice I can give you. So normally it comes like this. My bookmaking teacher went, like, extra and made an actual, like, book for our syllabus this year, which is awesome. But another thing I wanted to show you, and it's highlighted best in this book, is, I know this might be a thing with, like, science courses, but with art courses you also have best practices for materials. And this basically lists out all the dangers that can happen with certain materials, like especially with oil. You're using dangerous chemicals that have fumes and everything. So this will list out all, like, if you ever need a certain material and you're wondering what sort of procedures you should take in order to handle that material, this is the list that will always be provided. Or you can always ask your professor before bringing the material into class. So that's always, like, a nice thing. And it's, like, super colored here, so it was, like, best to show in this one. So, like, she went all out in this syllabus. She, like, this is our project sheet. We're doing a total of 4 projects this semester, and she, like, this is, like, boom, 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 and then she was like, I'm gonna, like, describe each project to you, and then you're gonna, there's the schedule. I have to actually input that. I got these 2 in. I have to put this in my planner now. And then here's the supply list. But she's, like, she added in some extra reading for us to do. Basically, this is a workbook that we can keep after class. So this is how paper's made, and then some different folding techniques we can learn. And it's cool. She's gonna teach us demos, so it's not all from this book. So I'll learn actually in class and everything. But, like, extra, really extra. And of course, green. I love green. Anyway. So one thing courses, especially art courses, will definitely have is they'll require a sketchbook of some kind. Normally you have to have 1 sketchbook per course. It's already been told to me that I can have a sketchbook for all my courses, because you'll be taking crit notes and everything. I'm gonna pull out my journal. Let's do this. You'll be taking notes during critique, so you can go back and re-review them. And I'm going to actually put those in my planner, so it's always on me. Because this sketchbook's only going to go with me when I take it to figure drawing and or bookmaking. Because those are the only 2 classes I'm going to have demos in. So I'm going to take this is my planner, by the way. This is where I put all my stuff. Here's my week. Anyway, this is where I'm going to put in all my crit notes. And then if you can afford it, get a nice sketchbook, because obviously this one's falling apart a little bit. And always get one that you know you would enjoy drawing into. So this is actually an old one that I used. This was for one of my advanced figure painting classes, or figure drawing classes, and we took notes on, like, general anatomy. So I figured this would be the perfect one to use for my figure painting, because I'm taking it with the same exact teacher who taught me all this. So it's just going to be an extension of this lesson that I learned last time. And, like, are you kidding me? These are, like, the best dies I've ever drawn, and I haven't drawn like this since. So I'm really happy I'm taking it with the same professor, because he taught me a lot. But, like, I've never drawn a nose as good as this, or, like, mouths or an ear like that. Just like, like, look at these noses. And I'll go through most, if not all, my sketchbooks I've used throughout the semester. Not the semester, but, like, throughout college, because they're all different. I had to have a drawing 1 sketchbook, a drawing 2 sketchbook, a design 1 sketchbook, a design 2 sketchbook. I'll make a whole video of all the different classes I took, and I guess I'll do, like, a long review over my 4-year experience at college. But definitely a sketchbook is, oh dear, it looks like I used, apparently I used this as a cutting mat, because there's a nice big chunk right there. So for figure painting, I have to have brushes. Thankfully, most, if not all, the supplies I've already have in my collection. So I don't have to go shopping for brushes, thank Lord, because brushes can be expensive. Especially when we get like the nice ones. These are the ones I bought the first time around when I tried to use oil ones. So these are about a year, no, they're about 2 years old. I've done my best to take care of them, but there's obviously paint down there. There's not supposed to be paint down there, but this is when I was still first learning how to take care of a brush. So they're not the best in the world, like they're falling apart a little bit, but they're still like, this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So at least I can use it for this class and not have to worry about it falling apart. And I already have my required brushes. But if you have to buy brushes, like I have to buy paints, and paint is expensive, especially if it's oil, because it's mostly pigment with oil added to it. It's literally pigment and oil in a tube. And it varies from brand, but there are specific brands that he wants us to buy, so that's going to make it expensive. Now, I am going to say a bit of a warning. I've done my best not to curse, but I do have a bit of a sailor's mouth. So, if you don't like curse words, I am sorry. I'm going to do my best not to use my potty mouth, but it might slip up a little bit. And at this point in time, I'm about to use my potty mouth in the form of an object because this is my favorite pencil case ever. And I got it in Florida. When I went to go to Florida for a family trip, and me and my cousin have the same one because we both have potty mouths, and so this is like my favorite thing ever. I don't know if you can read it, but this is like perfect for college because it politely asks somebody not to mess with your stuff. So favorite case ever. I love this thing, and it's also really well made. I've had this thing for 4 years, and it has not, and I've used the almost cursed there. I've used the heck out of it. There we go. And corners are still nice and everything. If I can find a link to something similar to this, I'll definitely post it down below because this is an amazing case. But in this case, I have materials for figure drawing for figure painting and for bookmaking, just because I want to have everything in one spot. So these are some of the items that are required for those classes. Most of them are for bookmaking, so like the needle nose and these clamps are bookmaking. The X-Acto and the scissors bookmaking, but they can also be utilized for everything else. This palette knife is obviously figure painting. It's one of those really nice palette knives too. It has a nice bend to it. Like I like ones that aren't too flexible because I'm like very heavy-handed with my paint when I do paint. So this is one of the best ones. I have another one right here, but it's very dirty and it's a very bendy. So I don't enjoy that much. It's not my favorite in the world. So this is I really only have 2 palette knives, so this one's my favorite one of the all. And then I have these 2 suckers, which I've had for years. Basically since my first semester back in 2015. These are bulldog clamps. These are very heavy duty clamps that we use to hold up our drawing pads on the piece of masonite, or on the hard surface that we use. It's a piece of masonite board, and I'll show that hopefully a little bit later. It's not really a requirement for the semester, but I might have to whip it out if I want to do some practices for like some figure practices before I get into painting. Let me put that all back in here. Okay, yes. And this is one this type of blade you can't actually like flip the blade out. You have to physically unscrew this, open it up, put the blade in, and then close it and screw it back in. So I do have to be pretty careful with this because even if I look at a blade, I get a cut. So I have to like turn the blade away, stick it under an object or something, and make sure I don't touch that object unless I'm touching the handle of the blade. And then this is the box I'm going to be using for the semester. I'll tip it up a little bit so you can see. It used to carry all my D&D painting stuff for like my tiny figures, but I don't want to go out and buy another box, so I just moved those and I'm using this for right now. So I have the general drawing supplies. I've got a couple pencils, mechanical pencils, and then white paint marker, some X-Acto blades for a little blade I need to get. I lost my X-Acto knife, so I have the blades, I just need the actual like handle piece. Some lead, Sharpies, Scotch tape, and then we have rags for painting. So these will probably get thrown out by the end of the semester because they'll have nothing but oils and chemicals on them, making them inusable. Extra blades for that X-Acto knife, and it's a nice heavy thing, and I have to be careful with this too because like I think I just cut myself on like this edge. So see, I look at a blade, I get a cut. It's even if it's like super perfected, I still get a cut. I definitely need to get more masking tape. I think this is like the 3rd roll I've gone through in my time, but it'll suffice until I can get more because I have to wait till payday to get the paints and everything. Because I'm broke. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm so thankful I have all this stuff from earlier semesters. A ruler. And then this is, oop, get back in there. This is my favorite thing of all in this box. Let me go ahead and just close everything up real fast so I can show you this. This is from my time as in figure drawing class. This was the most used little box I ever had. And this is where I found out my love of charcoal as well. So I have, this is what we call willow. It's a nice chunky piece of charcoal that I use to get over a large area of charcoal. And then I have some pencils in here. This is, yeah, that's actually a charcoal pencil. I've got my kneaded eraser, which I probably need to get, this one's actually pretty fine. Probably need to get some others, and then some different varying weights of vine charcoal. And then I also have like compressed in here, some white pencils, and these are like normal white pencils, and that's white charcoal pencils down here. For use in my toned sketchbook. This bad boy. I don't know if I can, let's see if I can show you one. Like this is where I use the white charcoal pencils along with the normal charcoal. And then I would use this on here, and you can just make a nice little highlight. It's very nice. I enjoy these pencils in this book. So yeah, this little box brings me a little bit of joy because I enjoy. Oh yeah, and I put the sharpener in here because I knew it would get lost like instantly. So it's just gonna live in this box because it has a nice little satisfying click when you close it. And this is just your normal average pencil box with like little compartments right here. And it's served me well. I've had this thing for 2 years and it's not even close to breaking. I enjoy this box. Video section. Well, my desk was clean and now it's not clean anymore, but I have to go back to school, so ha 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 ha. I'll go ahead and sort of end out the vlog, wow, okay. I'll go ahead and end out the vlog here if I decide, because we're doing a demo today in figure drawing class. That's the class I'm going to in a minute. We're doing a demo day because he's going to teach us how to, we're basically just going over some mapping points on the body. So like the collarbones, and then you have the shoulder, and then like some ways you can do perspective again, because it's been a minute since most of us have been in a figure drawing class, like at least a year. So he's going over like a couple of those, and then we're doing a practice session today to where we're just doing a couple of drawings of a figure. So if I decide what I produce is worthy, and I might have to like do a little censor, because it will most likely be a naked model. I'll show you guys. But look, really good lighting, sort of. There we go. That's better lighting. Now I'm yellow. Now it's better lighting. And you get to see, I don't know if you can see it, but like, hang on, I gotta show you a true college mistake that I just made. I forgot I had onions. Now I have onion plants. I don't know what to do. It's just gonna sit there for a minute until I figure out what to do with them, because I don't want to kill it. I have a pot of dead plants. Here, I'll just show you. I have this poor pot of dead plants that I tried to grow, and I forgot to water them even though they're right next to my studio space. And so I'm scared. Get that cord out of the way. I'm scared that if I put it in here, it's gonna die, but I have to clean this out too, because They're dead. It's dead, Jim. It's dead. Anyway, I should probably go to class. Yeah, I need to go to class. Yeah. I mean, I have like an hour and 15 minutes before class starts, but I'm taking the bus because I don't want to waste gas, and parking at my school sucks at the moment with all the construction going on. But I should probably get ready. Make a snack. Should I make a snack? Oh, and I have to walk you too. Bye for now.
Yeah, just out here sniffing the flowers. That's a leaf. That's still a leaf. That's another leaf. That's a bush. Let's go potty. That's still a leaf. It's nearly the same as the other one. Yes, potty. Go. Woo!